When he was first found, he was all alone, small, and crying for help. His meows were weak but loud, as if he was begging someone to notice him. Inside a small cardboard box in Malaysia lay a tiny kitten, no bigger than a bar of soap. He was badly hurt, thin and shaking. The worst part was his tail. It was deeply wounded, and part of it had already fallen off. He looked like he was in a lot of pain, but his little eyes were still open, still fighting. The person who found him couldn't walk away. I just couldn't leave him there, they said. They gently picked him up, wrapped him in a soft cloth, and rushed him to the vet. During the car ride, the kitten meowed nonstop, nervous and scared, but still full of life. At the clinic, the doctors carefully checked him. The injury on his tail was so bad that they weren't sure he would make it through the night. But the little one refused to give up. Everyone could see how strong he was. Because he was so small, the vet had to wrap him tightly in a blanket to keep him safe during treatment. That's when they started calling him Burrito, because he looked like one. Instead of wearing a cone on his head like most cats, he had a tiny one around his tail to protect it. Everyone at the clinic fell in love with him right away. Burrito needed a lot of care, and his rescuer didn't want to leave him behind. They decided to cut their trip short and stay in Malaysia just to look after him. It wasn't easy. He needed daily checkups, medicine, and cleaning. Sometimes he cried when his wound was treated, but he always stayed brave. Even when he hurt, he never bit or hissed. He just looked at his rescuer with trust in his eyes. Day by day, Burrito got stronger. His fur started to grow back, and his tail began to heal. Soon, his playful side started to show. He loved exploring, playing with toys, and meeting people. He wasn't scared of anything. He became known as the tiny cat with a big heart. After 5 months in Malaysia, it was time for Burrito to go home. But his rescuer had 7 other cats waiting there. No one knew how Burrito would fit in. He was small, they were big. But the moment Burrito entered the house, everyone was shocked. He walked in like he owned the place. He sniffed around, flicked his tiny tail, and acted like a little boss. The other cats didn't know what to do. This tiny kitten was now the leader. I thought he'd be scared, his rescuer said, laughing. Instead, he scared them. Soon after, another cat came into Burrito's life. Her name was Strawberry. The moment she saw him, she was in love. She followed him everywhere, but Burrito acted like he didn't care. He ignored her completely. But Strawberry didn't give up. Slowly, she started getting closer to him every day, first resting a paw on his side, then curling up next to him. One night, during a thunderstorm, Burrito finally let her cuddle close. From that moment on, they were inseparable. They did everything together, eating cat grass, playing, napping. If Strawberry was gone for a few hours, Burrito would walk around the house meowing for her. They became best friends, 2 little souls who had found each other. Burrito's rescuer can hardly believe how far he's come. The tiny kitten they found weak and hurt now runs around the house strong and full of energy. His tail healed perfectly, leaving just a small scar. His fur is soft and shiny, his eyes are bright, and his personality is bigger than ever. He's still brave, still curious, and full of love. He's turned into a cat who loves cuddles, playtime, and naps beside his best friend, Strawberry. Together, they fill the home with laughter and joy. Burrito's journey wasn't easy. He went from being a hurt, lonely kitten to becoming a happy, healthy cat with a family and friends who love him. He proved that even the smallest animal can have the biggest heart. His rescuer says he used to be a fighter, but now he's a lover. If Burrito's story made you smile, give it a like or share it. You might help another cat like him find love, care, and a second chance at life. Because sometimes the smallest animals show us the biggest lessons: to never give up and to always love again.